Phil had been funding his retirement accounts in the wrong order for 4 years. He didn't know it. Nobody told him. And it cost him somewhere near $11,000, money his employer was offering him for free that he never took. He wasn't careless. He was doing everything the advice says. Save more, contribute what you can, max out your catch-up. He just did it in the wrong sequence. When he showed me his numbers at a retirement meetup last month, I had to tell him something nobody wants to hear at 58, that the money wasn't coming back. But here's the part that matters for you. The order is fixable. It takes one afternoon. In this video, I'm walking through the exact sequence: employer match, IRA catch-up, 401k catch-up, and where that new super catch-up fits. And near the end, the one question to ask your HR department that tells you instantly whether you've been making Phil's mistake too. Here's what Phil's spreadsheet actually looked like when he showed me. Clean, organized, color-coded even. Every account funded, every catch-up contribution maxed by October. On paper, it looked like the work of someone who had this completely figured out. It wasn't. And the reason why is the first thing almost nobody explains correctly. Step 1. Your employer match isn't unlimited, and it doesn't automatically follow your catch-up money. Most employer matches work like this. Your company matches a percentage of your salary up to a certain point, say 50 cents on the dollar, up to 6% of what you earn. Once you've contributed that 6% through your regular contributions, you've usually gotten the entire match you're going to get for the year. Not year to date, not eventually. Done. Here's where it gets expensive. Catch-up contributions are almost always treated as a separate bucket from that match calculation. If you're pouring extra money into catch-up before you've hit your regular match threshold, in a lot of plans, none of that catch-up money gets matched at all. Because as far as the formula is concerned, you never finished funding the part that qualifies for the match in the first place. Phil's plan matched 50% up to 6% of his salary. He made about $92,000 a year. 6% of that is $5,520. His employer would match half of that, $2,760, guaranteed every single year, just for showing up and contributing. Phil never hit that 6% threshold through his regular contributions. He'd gotten excited about catch-up contributions the moment he learned about them, and he'd been funneling extra money there first, thinking more retirement savings was more retirement savings, regardless of which bucket it landed in. Step 2. There's a second way people accidentally shoot themselves in the foot here, and it's about timing, not just amount. If your plan doesn't do what's called a true-up, a year-end correction that catches you up on any match you missed, then contributing too aggressively early in the year can max out your account before December, which means no contributions land in your paycheck for the rest of the year. No contributions, no match for months at a time. Some companies fix this automatically. A lot of them don't, and almost nobody asks which kind of plan they actually have. Here's what that actually looks like in numbers, so it's not just abstract. Say you earn $8,000 a month and decide to contribute half of every paycheck, $4,000 a month, straight into your 401k, trying to get ahead of things early in the year. At that pace, you'd hit the $24,500 regular contribution limit by the end of June. From July through December, nothing comes out of your paycheck for retirement, which means no employer match either, for 6 straight months, unless your plan does a true-up. If it doesn't, that's potentially thousands of dollars in match, gone, simply because of when the money went in, not how much. Step 3. Here's the number I promised you at the start, and it's exactly as painful as it sounds. Phil had been doing this for 4 years, funding catch-up before securing his full match, since the year he turned 54. $2,760 a year in missed match, 4 years running. That's $11,040 of free money his employer set aside for him that simply expired, unclaimed, year after year. Not because the market dropped, not because he made a bad investment, because of the order he pressed the buttons in. I watched his face when we ran the actual math together at that meetup. He wasn't angry. He looked almost embarrassed, like he'd missed something obvious. He hadn't. Nobody had ever laid out the order for him. Most people assume contribute more is always the right move in any sequence, and mostly nobody corrects that assumption until it's already cost them something. Here's the part where I have to be straight with you. That $11,040 isn't coming back. Employer match isn't retroactive. You can't go back to 2022 and claim it. What Phil could do, what he did the same week we talked, was fix the order going forward so this stops happening every year from here on. Which brings us to Step 3's real question. Once your match is fully secured, where does the next dollar go? Into more 401k catch-up or into your IRA catch-up? For most people, the IRA catch-up dollar should come next, and here's why. You control an IRA directly. You're not stuck with whatever handful of mutual funds your employer's plan happens to offer, often with higher internal fees baked in. An IRA usually gives you access to nearly anything: low-cost index funds, individual stocks, whatever fits your actual strategy, at a fraction of the cost some 401k plans quietly charge. And if it's a Roth IRA specifically, there's another advantage waiting for you decades from now that most people don't find out about until it's almost too late, which is exactly where this is headed next. Step 4. Here's the advantage I mentioned, and it's the kind of thing that sounds small until you actually sit with it. A Roth IRA never forces you to take money out. Ever. Not at 73, not at 80, not at any age, for as long as you're alive. Compare that to a traditional 401k or IRA, where the government eventually requires you to start withdrawing and paying tax on a chunk of it every year, whether you need the money or not. Roth catch-up dollars, once they're in and they've grown for 5 years, can just sit there compounding, completely untouched, for the rest of your life if you don't need them. That's not a minor perk. That's decades of extra tax-free growth some people never end up needing to interrupt. If you're one of the higher earners I mentioned a few weeks back, anyone who made more than $150,000 in Social Security wages last year, your 401k catch-up already has to go in as Roth this year regardless. For everyone else, this is where you actually get to choose, and knowing the no forced withdrawal advantage is exactly what should tip that choice. Once your IRA catch-up is maxed, the next dollar goes back to your 401k catch-up. Same bucket you started in, just now that you've secured the match and filled the more flexible account first. And if you're 60 to 63, this is where the super catch-up slots in at the same priority level, just with more room. $11,250 instead of the standard $8,000, still governed by the exact same order we just walked through. One honest exception before we go further. If you're carrying high-interest debt, credit cards particularly, none of this order applies until that's handled first. No retirement account, catch-up or otherwise, reliably outpaces 20+% interest working against you. Match first, yes, that's still free money. But after that, crushing high-interest debt usually beats catch-up contributions, not the other way around. If you don't already know your own match formula off the top of your head, here's the fast way to find it. Log into your plan portal, Fidelity, Vanguard, Empower, whoever holds it, and look for a document usually called the Summary Plan Description, or just ask HR directly for the matching formula and whether catch-up contributions are included in it. Most people have never asked that second half of the question, and it's the half that actually matters here. Phil fixed his order the same week we talked. He adjusted his 401k contribution to spread evenly across every paycheck instead of front-loading it, confirmed with HR that his plan didn't do true-ups, maxed his Roth IRA catch-up next, and only then went back to push his 401k catch-up further. He told me it took him about 40 minutes total, spread across 2 phone calls. 40 minutes against $11,040 already lost. That's the kind of trade that makes you want to sit down for a second. Here's what I want to know from you. Before this video, had you ever actually checked whether your catch-up contributions count toward your employer match, or did you just assume they did, the same way Phil did? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious how many of us have been funding in the wrong order without knowing it. Step 5. The order, written down plain, so you never have to guess like Phil did. 1. Contribute enough to your 401k through regular contributions, not catch-up, to get your full employer match, and spread it evenly across every paycheck of the year instead of front-loading it. 2. Call HR or check your plan summary to confirm whether you get a year-end true-up if you do max out early. 3. Once your match is secured, max your IRA catch-up next. Roth if you have the choice for the no forced withdrawal advantage, or because the $150,000 rule already made that choice for you. 4. After your IRA catch-up is maxed, go back and push your 401k catch-up as far as you can, including the super catch-up room if you're 60 to 63. That's the order. Match, true-up check, IRA catch-up, then back to 401k catch-up. 4 steps, and every one of them fixable in under an hour if you're willing to sit down and actually do it. And if you can't fund all 4 right now, if the money genuinely isn't there to do everything at once, the order still tells you exactly where to stop. Getting the full match with what you have is worth more than partially funding all 4 steps at a shallow level. A little bit in the right order beats a lot of money in the wrong one. Think of it like pouring a foundation before you frame the walls. You can build a beautiful house in the wrong order. Walls up first, foundation poured underneath afterward. And for a while, from the outside, it might even look fine. It's not fine. It's just not obvious yet. The order isn't a technicality. It's the difference between money that compounds for you and money that simply expires, unclaimed, the way Phil's did for 4 straight years. This is education, not personalized financial or tax advice. Your specific plan's matching formula, true-up policy, and contribution limits all vary, so it's worth confirming the details directly with your HR benefits team or a fiduciary advisor. But the order of operations itself, match, then IRA, then back to your 401k, holds true for almost everyone in our position. I'd genuinely love to know where you're starting from. Tell me in the comments, do you know your plan's exact match formula off the top of your head, or is that something you've never actually looked up? I want to build a future video that walks through real match formulas and real numbers closer to what you're actually working with, instead of just Phil's. I share this kind of thing every week because I'm still figuring a lot of it out myself, 8 years in. If that's useful to you, subscribing means you don't miss the next one. Phil isn't upset anymore. He told me the $11,040 stings less than he expected it to, now that he knows exactly where it went and exactly how to stop it from happening again. That's really the whole point of getting the order right. It's not about being brilliant with money. It's about not quietly losing to your own sequence. Phil had been funding his retirement accounts in the wrong order for 4 years. He didn't know it. Nobody told him. Now he does. Now you do too.